Canada's MPs, by law, by rule, have to disclose all of their assets. That's been a rule, in fact, in this country for more than a decade. Well, CBC News has learned that one of the highest profile members of Prime Minister Trudeau's cabinet, the Finance Minister, Bill Morneau, did not reveal everything he owns. Nick Gamache has those details from Ottawa.
CBC News has learned that the Finance Minister waited 2 years to disclose to the Ethics Commissioner that he owns a villa in the south of France through a private corporation, and only disclosed this to the Ethics Commissioner after our own Liz Thompson started asking questions about that particular property. As you mentioned, MPs are supposed to disclose all the companies that they own, whether it's in Canada or elsewhere in the world, and Bill Morneau failed to do so for 2 years. The way his office is explaining this is that there was an early administrative confusion that led to all of this, but it doesn't change the fact that it took almost 2 years since becoming an MP for Bill Morneau to reveal this.
And what could be the consequences of not revealing that as scheduled, as required?
Well, the Ethics Commissioner's office is not looking into this at this point in time. The Commissioner would be able to impose a fine if Bill Morneau is found to have broken the law, but it would be a pretty minor fine. It's only up to $500. The real cost could be political here, because the opposition is already jumping all over this one.
It sounds like the minister's defense is that he's just so rich that he forgot that he owns this private corporation in France and this villa in Provence. That will leave a lot of Canadian taxpayers scratching their heads.
Now, Heather, Bill Morneau has, of course, had already a rough few months since his proposed tax changes to small businesses have been put on the table. There's been a ton of pushback, and more recently, his own wealth has become at the center of the narrative that the opposition parties, including the Conservatives, have been using. So you can see how the fact that he failed to disclose the fact that he owns a villa in the south of France, how that could fit into that narrative that will no doubt be on display next week when the House comes back.